I'm about as subtle as a death growl in an echo chamber. Hit it! Welcome backstage. I'm Damian Deadlove. Tonight's band is Motley Crue. This band has been the soundtrack to a lot of memories in my life. Was I a fan? At one time, I was a really big fan. If you ask me that now, I'd have to say I'm a Mick Mars fan, if you follow. First off, the band was formed in 1981, and this is the original lineup. Mick Mars guitar, Vince Neil vocals, Nikki Sixx bass, and Tommy Lee drums. But we're focusing more on 1992 after Vince Neil had quit the band, or he was fired. Well, it depends upon who you ask. Nikki says Vince quit, Vince says Nikki fired him. The argument still remains unresolved, but Vince was in the band again and is still to present day. But that drama is not what I'm focused on at the moment. In walks John Corabi to be the Crue's new singer. Before that, Corabi was the frontman for the Scream. He's a songwriter and plays guitar. Vince never wrote lyrics or songs. This was uncharted territory. In 1994, the Crue released their sixth studio album, simply called Motley Crue. I remember a metal magazine interviewed Nikki, who at the time said it would be called Till Death Do Us Part. It didn't happen, obviously, but there is a song titled on that album of the same name. I love this album. I listen to it more than the stuff with Vince. All the songs are killer. It's got a heavier sound than their previous efforts. I'm pissing off a lot of purists with that remark, but it's true. Hooligan's Holiday and Misunderstood were the two singles released off this album. Both great songs. But the deep cuts were great as well, especially Power to the Music, Uncle Jack, Poison Apples, Welcome to the Numb, Smoke in the Sky, Until Death Do Us Part. There is not a bad song on the record, no filler to be found. What's going in their favor? Well, they're coming off the Dr. Feelgood album and the tour that followed, which, by the way, topped the Billboard 200. It's only their most successful record ever. Then they released a greatest hits album in 91 with a couple of unreleased tracks and a couple of new songs. Primal Scream and Anarchy in the UK, a Sex Pistols cover, were hit singles. Another huge successful tour. That's the good part, folks. Here's the problem. Hair metal is dying quickly because of oversaturation. Record execs have flooded the market and it's grown stale. Metal has some breath left though. Metallica is ruling the world at the moment, which is helping the other members of the Big Four have success as well. Record companies have moved on from the 80s and a new decade has begun. Grunge is the new kid in town and fixing to explode. This Motley record reflects that they knew a shift was coming. It has an ironic grungy guitar tone, a lot more double bass drums on some songs, and a new singer with a raspy voice and very gritty sound. After losing Vince, they knew it had to be different. As good as this album is, it couldn't have happened at a worse time. It never had a chance, really. The album sales were terrible, and the tour was canceled because of poor attendance. Fans are loyal to a fault sometimes and want the band to succeed. On the other hand, some fans just follow the ex-singer's solo career because he's the voice they know. It's not easy for a second singer to get over with the fan base. Has it happened before? Yes. Van Halen with Hagar, Black Sabbath with Dio, and Iron Maiden with Dickinson, to name a few. But it usually means the band is in for hard times or possibly disbanding completely. But not every band has two beloved figures under one roof. Guitar heroes are game changers. It's usually the singer frontman that is often the most popular person in the group. Them just facts. I'm going to armchair quarterback this scenario, folks. I'm going to try to give this album a better chance than it got. I'm calling an audible. I think this is where they went wrong. I would have dropped the band name. Act like it's a totally new band. a different entity. Make an announcement the band is no more. What do they have to gain by keeping the name? Some might say they're a fractured fan base, and it is fractured. Some fans will give the album a listen out of loyalty, maybe even see a show. Give the new guy a chance, which means the album has to be fucking brilliant. Anything else is pointless. The band name is either a lifeline or an anchor that ensures your death. It's a double-edged sword, folks. Some might say the song catalog, the hit songs, in the situation the songwriters are still with this new band, meaning they can still use those old songs for free, record them, play them live, whatever they want. They could have announced something like this. Former Motley Crue members start new band with John Corabi, former frontman of The Scream, make stickers with this info packaged on each album for the new band. If the record company let them make the record, then they had to approve this new lineup. Otherwise, aren't they in breach of contract? Also, the former singer who appears to be putting out a solo record is doing it on the same label, if memory serves me right. Sounds like executives wanted it to fail because they could have made my scenario happen easily. Then again, Vince comes back in '96 on the next album. So, the house always wins in the end. It would appear so. By the way, if you're a Mick Mars fan, this is the last album he recorded guitar on. Generation Swine and everything after it had a hired guitar player on it. Mick still played live, just not on those records. I hate when bands do that with using other players. But anyways, that's our episode for tonight. Remember, music is the soundtrack of our lives. Peace, love, and linen. I'm Damien Deadlove.